welcome. So I feel that this video is gonna be a little bit different. I don't know if it is, but it feels different. Basically, I was thinking my minimalism journey can really start from here. Yesterday I found out how easy it actually is for me to tidy up, do like a general tidy. I don't know if it wasn't really a general tidy, I called it picking up of stray things or weeding out, because, well, it was like some decluttering but some tidying up. But all this area is clear now, and if you have watched that video you will know what I mean. If you haven't, then you're welcome to do so, maybe after this one. But, oh, I wasn't gonna, well, that's another clear space. But I noticed something, and one thing I've never shared on YouTube. I made so many videos, but I haven't actually shared about it. I haven't actually shared them. And recently deleted one or two because they're so old and I didn't like how my room looked, but I was too embarrassed to it was, well, actually I just never got around to it, like so many other things. Part of the reason for which might have been having so much stuff. But so, well, the thing is, now I'm confused. I'll talk you through as I go along. Let's start in the bathroom. Here's the bathroom. There are a couple of things lying around, but it's not too bad. Basically, I took the rubbish. I have to take it out every day. It fills up so quickly. And then I just put everything in the box because the box can go, but I think I might use that to collect some maybe items. Basically, so tidying up can be done quickly, but I feel like I'm in a bit of a unique situation. Well, okay, so I wasn't really, but now that I have the distance to see it, it was so bad that I kind of don't want to say how bad it was. That's how bad it was, and that's what I always end up saying nowadays. And so I never shared what the before really looked like, but having gotten to here is really, really great for someone like me. And yet, so this was when we moved here that had a massive clear out. And yet, I was going to show you room by room, but we have scenarios like this. And this is actually not, there's no light in here, so sorry for the darkness, but this actually doesn't contain everything because somebody's going to check the boiler, but it's still, so it felt minimalistic at first, but you can see how many shoes I have, and it felt so good to have come here, and yet, you know what I mean, but yet I'm beginning to notice the details and have noticed how full within its space the things actually still look. So having just 2 shelves and excluding clothing, 2 drawers of a chest of drawers to my name, for someone who grew up like me with everybody around them having so much stuff, is really good. It looks minimalistic this is what I would have thought minimalism was like, where there's only 1 shelf in a whole big living room. There's this little thing, and then there's this, which is cute. And here's the small kitchen. Everything is looking tidy. What my old understanding of tidy was anyway, or still is. And there are a few things on the table, as you may remember. But at the same time, now, I don't know if that's not really still a lot, and I just simply hadn't noticed it before. And you can see how crammed it looks, and I feel like maybe one could do better. and I want it to be, but also I have kept everything that was really meaningful or that I needed or that I use in my life. There's a whole other room which contains eBay things, which I don't know if I'm ready to share how bad it actually looks. I might make this another video. But oh my god. Well, this video is meant to be sharing the honest truth of what things are looking like at the moment. But I don't know. It's really bad because it doesn't have a designated use. Everything got strewn around, and then there are some things that need to go back in the cupboard. But I just things I have listed, and it's just really embarrassing. So I want to get this under control and then place them in here. Maybe even have separate boxes. You know how they do with like putting A and B on the boxes, but if not, then at least it can be in the cupboard. This used to be a guest room, now it's like an eBay room, but it became a dumping ground. I mean, dump doesn't sound very friendly, but it became what it is now, and it's just not working. It's just like, I read in a book yesterday that you have to give these kind of rooms a name. It's either a guest room, or it's the eBay room, or it's a storage room, like, or whatever it may be for you. It's either the gaming room or the office or the guest room. It's not all at once, because then it just becomes this. Because you think, oh, there's unused space, so I'm just going to place this here, and then temporarily becomes over a long period of time until, you know, indefinitely, and you don't take care of it. And so I really need to bring this, and this is actually shameful. I feel like, I don't know if I feel enough shame that I'm still showing you what it looks like, but this needs to be brought under control. Folding everything up nicely, making good piles, and then even if they are folded up on the bed neatly, but not like this. And then it's kind of the laundry room too, as you can see here. And then I have these Tupperware that hasn't fit in the kitchen yet. I want to let go of the old ones, but I don't know if I'm just the only one who wants to do that. You know, okay, let's not drag this out, but this is something that I'm aware, okay, this is like not the norm, but I just don't know. Should it be a guest room or an eBay room? Mostly it's the eBay room, but I feel like if the room is sectioned, that this is the guest room and that this is the eBay room, because if there's things in the wardrobe for eBay, why there are no guests here? Or even if guests come, they maybe understand, maybe they'll be happy to have a bed, I don't know. But you know, okay, this needs to be taken care of for definitely, but I'm mainly talking about the main living space around here. Like, this isn't looking bad, this is tidy. My one bag there, and my husband's one thing here isn't really, and this makes sense to be here because every time I go out or I come home, like, I can place it back right here, and like you get ready here, you can put on your shoes here. But my point is, I guess, I'm lucky to have the opportunity to be doing this at this time. But does this look full? So this to me looked really good. I don't think I've shown it on camera fully what it's looking like, this shelf. It's not only about the shelf, but like, I reduced everything to my favorites and things that, you know, largely attempting to use the KonMari method. I maybe subconsciously did that, but also pressured into it by circumstances, which I really needed. I was like, this is what I needed. Like, I needed that pressure from life to give me a kick in the butt. But especially looking at it through the camera, this is really filled. And everything is really full. So the floor is really great. There's things in the corner that didn't used to be here, and then you think it's only temporary, but then you don't have a deadline, so it kind of stays there. And then this is a lot. And okay, this is not mine, but this is mine. And these contain some of my most favorite things in life ever in terms of things. I love this drawer. Brings me a lot of joy. So I was thinking maybe this is how everything should feel, even though these are my favorites. Like, there are some things that bring me extreme joy. Like this book there too. Yeah, we had this one. Then there's just scarves and PJs, more scarves. And then what was in here? Oh right, this was also one of those collecting drawers, because it ended up free when we got drawers under the bed, so... Oh man, I almost forgot I had this. Like, okay, this could be organized better, but the point is, I feel like my views have shifted. I should probably show you the... And also there's another bathroom, but there's my side of the closet, which once again... Like, this is supposed to be in the bags, and the bag storage doesn't work because they always fall, like they always get jumbled like this. This doesn't need to be there when I fold them up neatly. I mean, I could have picked a better day. I could have done this before doing the video, because that's just a matter of tidying it up, but then at least it doesn't look too bad there. I just threw it now, but with something like this, I don't have a better solution. Something's gotta be up here, and my bags were the best solution out of them all, because when it was my clothes, it wouldn't, they would always fall down if I took one item out. So this kind of works, and I can put them into each other, but it could still be better. But I don't know, I still have a lot of clothing, and it's like I'm in that sort of middle, like crossing that line in a positive sense, but I'm kind of in between, like, this looks so good compared to where I've come from, and then at the same time it's still so much, and like I can see it now. I have the distance to see it now. I have evolved to here where I notice it, and since the things that don't fit in the wardrobe, it feels like too much. But also there's that space that I can't utilize for clothing because of the reason I've explained. And if I did, then I don't have anywhere to put my bags. I can put them here, but then it's also harder to get them. At least now I kind of see them, and I guess I wanted to, for the completion of everything, just show you the bathroom. Yep, if you've seen my other video, you may have seen me go through these, and I pulled some things out. Also, I placed those back here. These are hair colors. Here, something more in the corner. But my main point is, it's so strange to feel like this is really, it feels like everything I have when I look at it is right for me and belongs in my life. And maybe my threshold is just really high, like, I don't know. But when I look at the overall view of it, it visually looks cluttered. Like, it's not like there's no rhyme and reason to it. Okay, so, for example, favorite books at the top, Lord of the Rings. Then everything that relates to the Lord of the Rings is with the Lord of the Rings, which makes a lot of sense. Then it goes into Harry Potter, and then everything Harry Potter related is there. And okay, this is things that didn't fit in anywhere else. Fair enough. But even the figurines are fantasy, because these are fantasy related, so it makes sense. Then we have more fantasy books. Some other ones. This one is actually a great book, by the way, very hopeful. Breaking Night by Liz Murray. And then we also have some, I don't know, I feel like that's just a category that that makes sense to me. Like everything non-fantasy, because I love writing fantasy, but I also write some books of stories that could have happened in real life but didn't. I know there's fiction, but then fiction includes other genres that I don't write, don't love. So I don't know, that's probably not even a thing, but to me it is. So these kind of books, I always call them prose because I don't have another word for it. I know that's technically not correct. More fantasy, and one poetry book as well. So there's more fantasy figurines here. Even this flask kind of is reminiscent of some Wise Gumshee's flask that he gets from Galadriel. So it's kind of fun to have it with fantasy. So it's like, it's not like this doesn't make sense to me as someone who knows it, but it doesn't look it. It doesn't translate visually. And then we have, well, you can see some Sachbücher, books about specific topics, and then we have language and writing, which is all I'm in love with, and acting and cinema and things, London, and then we even have positivity or faith-related books. Even the KonMari, the life-changing magic of tidying up, is there, and then we have this dancing figurine who's taking life lightly, and some angels, and a card that looks like kind of like heaven or angels, so almost like a mini shrine, like giving you positivity and some memories of school times, of actually things that teachers wrote to me, and bookmarks, of course, but it's related to writing as well. It's also sentimental, so like that makes sense. Then there are things that I can't really get rid of, like electrical appliances bring functional joy, but they don't really bring me joy as such, but I kind of have to keep them because I need them. Some jewelry, hairbands. I don't have too many hairbands, but also I love having a variety. So I wonder if you can see my hairband, and it's kind of got these flowers on, so it's almost like ice flowers. And then this is a blue hairband, so it goes with the color of my skirt. And then this hairband goes with these little guys, these gingerbread men, and even the kind of the other blue color is also mirrored in some of the flowers. I'm not sure if you can see it right now, but I'm telling you, it is there. So, am I making excuses? But I just thought today it's lovely to have a variety. I can match it with my outfit. The other day I was wearing a gray dress, and I used this silver hairband. This is what I mean by full. And then there are some more books that I had tried to push myself to declutter, but haven't. And so they ended up here. Actually, they should be with the other books, shouldn't I, if I'm keeping them. And then there's a treasure chest from my teens, which had so much meaning to me, and yet, like, I'm so confused about that with my teens, and I want to make a conscious effort of reading everything that hasn't been read, and if I don't read it, then it needs to, like, go, because I feel like, well, some of these books bring me extreme joy, and I've never actually read them. Then I started and read a little bit, but still they were so meaningful, because my teens were the time that I kind of determined I wanted to be a writer, and where books tell a story. Even through acting you tell a story, and it just inspired me so much. It's just so symbolic for what I wanted to do with my life and the hopes I had and everything. So, hopes and dreams. I don't know whether I should let go of them just because I haven't read them. I don't know if I'm sounding like a hoarder. Marie Kondo said you should let them go, but I feel like I have a really, it's like it's right for me, like, and teens in general. I mean, they're so long ago in some way. I'm just confused because I don't. Well, the treasure chest you don't really need anyway. It's just a treasure chest, but maybe if I put things in there that I actually treasure, rather than something that looks like it belongs in a treasure chest, like an old key or something. Gold. I don't have any gold. So, somebody told me yesterday, sounds to me like you already are a minimalist, and minimalism to me means, I don't know how they phrase it, but pretty much they said, means that, you hold on to what brings you joy, and like what is right for you to keep in your life, and not anything extra. And I had done that, I'd pared it down, but then within the space, it doesn't look it, and it's probably more embarrassing than I'm realizing, because I'm so used to it, and I feel like I've accomplished so much, or we have accomplished so much, which we have, and yet, I mean, what does it say about how awful it was before if this is the after? But I mean, I wonder what it's looking like to people out there. May look way worse, but I feel so accomplished, and it does feel minimal in some way, but then on the other hand, I'm like looking at it, and actually it's cluttered, and I wonder how I could take it beyond this. I wonder if it's right to do so yet. Or will that happen naturally? And at the same time, it would be so lovely to just have a shelf where all books fit in. And then you can take, if this shelf was a little wider, and I don't want to make excuses by, taking more space up, then of course it'll fit. But then what do you do if you get more? Do you need more space again? And I just don't know how right it really feels to have just this one bookshelf. I mean, I was a lover of books, I always have been, and did I have 2 bookshelves in my youth? Pretty sure I had a lot of books. Over the years, you of course collect more books. Some of these are from my youth, as I mentioned. Actually, most of them are, really. But it'd be nice to have I would have a library in my home, like if I had my own house. Like, I'm not adverse to, and I love being old school and having physical books in front of you when they bring you so much joy. Like, it's meaningful beyond just the text. The item itself, if somebody gave it to you or it stands for something. And yet I've been, this one time I was sitting and hypothetically thinking, okay, what if I only had this and this and this amount of stuff like a minimalist? And I felt this great sense of relief. So, and I was watching a video today, somebody mentioned there that actually, apparently having clutter physically spikes cortisol levels, which is a stress hormone. Which I didn't know that there was like a scientific thing behind it. So, do I really want this for my life? But I don't know. But I do. When I look at each item, then it's yes, yes, yes. And it's like, I feel like they belong here, Like, there's a reason why they're here. It's not just random. It's not as jumbled as it looks. There's a reason why each of these things are in my life. And I'm feeling like a hoarder looking at it. But you don't know how much worse it was before. And then at the same time, I don't want to live like having no counter space here at all. Like, okay, I mean, I could probably put the jewelry away. But it's nice to have something here to pick from. And I was tidying this up the other day, if you haven't seen that video. But it's just like, I feel so great about what we accomplished, and at the same time I'm so confused by how it visually still doesn't match up. And I'll take a little break to think about it, what I want to say. But it's like, I don't know. Maybe you guys have advice. How do I take beyond this, and do I even want to? Like, I don't want to betray myself and pretend declutter and then nothing actually ever happens. And the thing with the youth, it also brings me joy. I'm not sure how clean that joy is. But I try to release them and just couldn't get myself to. So then, even in Marie Kondo, she says that then it's better to keep those items rather than having maybe piles lying around in your way, and you don't do anything with them and you don't get anywhere with it. Then keep them with confidence. And she also says, you think about them positively, it will quickly tell you whether they really belong. And it's like, I feel like they do belong, that's why they're here. Maybe I'm trying too hard to get rid of more stuff. But I'm not trying that hard, I don't know, it's like, I just don't know where to take it from here and how. But I would, in my dreams, it's like clear, it's not like this visual jumble here going on. So after this person mentioned that thing to me I said earlier, I thought maybe my minimal is just really a lot. It's just really maximal. Which kind of makes sense considering where it came from. Well, in a way, yeah, it kind of is. But then, like, do I really want to live like... I don't mind living like... I love what's there. And the meaning it has for me. But sometimes I wonder, will I ever get around to things while things are so full? Will I ever get around to reading all these books? will I ever live those dreams from my youth while it's just like everything is just kind of in each other's way, if that makes any sense. I wondered if you guys had any thoughts on this, and also this is me opening up because I don't know how much more embarrassing it looks to when you either visually see it on camera, or for you who as someone who doesn't live here and doesn't have the same history with these items, hasn't exchanged energy with these items over the years and sees it with different eyes. Oh, by the way, there's a few more things up there. Like, I would like to take it to the next level, and yet I don't know how, and I don't know if I'm ready yet. But I can't forget how relieved I felt when I thought hypothetically, like kind of imagined myself with only a few things, just what they call a minimalistic amount. And I'm saying minimalistic because I feel like it's not about being minimal. Actually, I want to call it simplicity. That will just be more accurate, but I feel like this never looks tidy, even when it's tidy, because there's so many things around. But like, I don't know if I can push myself beyond where I've already pushed myself, while not wanting to make excuses either. But this is how it's looking like at the moment. Yeah, or even if you have a great minimalist book to recommend, a lot of people use the KonMari method to achieve minimalism. Well, clearly I haven't. But I love that book. I'm so convinced of her method. Even where I stumble, I still believe in her. Like, whenever I read other books, I'm like, yeah, but the KonMari method is the best. Like, yeah, but what she says makes the most sense. Actually, even going through my wardrobe, I do like 80%, and then I hit this point where I feel like I just get stuck, and then I just kind of eventually give up or something, or just kind of for the time being tidy it, and then it's like, maybe it is because I've already done such a great job, but it doesn't show enough. I mean, okay, if you go in the living room, then as I've shown you before, I feel like you see it because it's a bigger room and it's for living, and we have a lot of space to live there. And all you have is one shelf. Okay, you don't see it within the shelf though. The shelf is still, what do you call it, kind of crammed. But I know what's there and why it's there. I know I need them. Okay. Well, these my grandma made. They were special, and these I tried to let go because they're only decoration, but they're so cute. I'd already pared it down and then regretted it. These ones are actually free, but I like them as boxes, and I want to, when something needs a home, I know I have these great boxes there. There used to be something that has been moved. These are all for writing, and also like documents and kind of bureaucracy stuff you need. And more writing, and then some scrapbooks. Like, this is for what I want for my future, building my future. I want to be a writer, and it's like, it would be foolish to throw that out. And then talking about writing, having a lot of notebooks. Okay, I probably wouldn't have needed to buy this many, but now that I have them, it makes sense to utilize what I have for writing. I love photos. I need to set these up, but these are like memorabilia, and it makes sense to remember your friends and good times by them. And then there's more memorabilia, and then this I need to clear. I was gonna make another video on that, and I need to find the keys for this. I made this, but I need to find the keys out of oven racks, but I need to find the keys so that I can actually put something in and utilize it. It's like, it's not like this is insensible what is here. I don't know if in this digital age a lot of people still have so many photo albums, but when I set them up, and I'll see what I need, and then if there's anything extra, or this can be then for the future. But okay, I don't know whether I'm finding myself making excuses or not. And I just want to be ready from the inside too, and just want it to be real rather than just forced. Like, every time I've pushed too hard, I regretted it, especially with books, which is maybe why they have become more important to me, what is actually there now with the books in the other room that I just showed you. Just don't want to keep running around back and forth. But in some way it's really great compared to before. It's really, really great, but that only makes it more embarrassing because I don't want people think, okay, what did her before look like? But putting this on camera just hits it home a little bit more, or just brings it home, whatever the expression is. I'm just so confused by this. This is like the first video. I don't even know like what the minimalism journey will be like. Maybe I've already started because I did a lot of mental work. I had a lot of mindset shifts and learned a lot, and yet, you know, it needs to translate into the space. I don't want to make this video too long and waste time, but this is like my part 1 if it ever gets to more minimalist declutter. So like with the clothes, and then should I start over? And I already dread it because I think, wow, it probably won't get any further than 80%. And I know I love everything that's there. Even looking at them, like, I'm happy to see them. I'm like, but also I feel like a minimalist doesn't need this many clothes. I mean, you probably don't have to jump into like, yeah, we're doing this and getting rid of like 70% of your things at once, which some people do. And if you have a lot of things, I feel like they had a lot of things that didn't really belong in their life. That's why I feel like I have too many things that still belong in my life. And I wonder how to evolve kind of past that. And would love to hear your input. And anyway, I'm opening up, what literally, but I'm opening up about how things are. And maybe I'll leave this video at that for now, just because I'm not sure what else to say. But I want to get further with this. I don't know why I hit that 80% point and then kind of don't know how to push through. Maybe it's because I try too hard to let go of things that I still love and that still feel right to have, just because I want to own less. And I know that's not the point, but then I don't want to have like too many things. I don't want to have too many things. And stuff like this wouldn't happen if I didn't have too many things. I wouldn't feel like, oh, just shove it in there for now. Honest truth, embarrassing as it is. Well, I'd love to hear your input. I think I will say goodbye to you for now. Hopefully there'll be a second and a third part and like a whole kind of series of starting to declutter from top to bottom, but I can't promise anything because I feel a little bit stuck. But if I go beyond, if I find a way to evolve beyond this point, then that would be great, and I could do that then. So yeah, any input would be greatly appreciated. Any suggestions of books and maybe even like TV series, or I mean, I've read KonMari. I have also recently read Fumio Sasaki. I hope I pronounced that correctly or said it right. But you know whom I mean. Goodbye Things, and you know, watch that The Minimalists. I haven't read their book. Apparently they have a book out, don't they? I don't know why I didn't like them, but I feel very comfortable with KonMari. I don't know how people use it to... I mean, I know because her mindset is... Like, you can tell when you read something like Decluttering at the Speed of Life. It's interesting, I loved reading it, but I feel it doesn't feel like right for me anymore because I don't feel that overwhelmed by things. There aren't things in the way everywhere. Usually if this is closed, everything's clear. It's just when you look into the details, you see it, but it's not like... I mean, like I said, even tidying up doesn't take me a lot of time anymore. You can easily do it too, and things have a home for the most part. There were some stray items like I've shown you in the other video, but then I found a home for them and I could do it really easily to my own surprise. So now things are clear again, like this table. And so it isn't really crazy anymore, for want of a better word. There aren't really like piles of things everywhere. It's not like if I ever do put the laundry, like, oh, it's clean, I want to do it later. Like, I notice that I need to do that and I do it. Like, it's not, even if sometimes that happens that I don't do it straight away, my habits have become a lot better, but for the most part you would just take care of things whenever whenever you use something, I clean it up straight away and, you know, put these away when they're dry. It's not like we haven't really let ourselves go like that. So you can kind of tell when a book is right for you, and I wonder if there are books out there for this particular problem. I don't know, but other people must have been at a stage where, I don't know whether anyone ever makes it this far or what. From really bad to wanting to consider minimalism or just something more towards that end of the spectrum. But what was I gonna say? I just don't know. Right, so like KonMari, you can tell that whom her book was written for, even though it feels like it works for everybody. You have to reach a certain point to really adopt that mindset and really understand where she's coming from, why she said this, why she said that. It doesn't just come easy to just anyone if they have a lot of clutter. So in a way I understand how people may use that for minimalism, but at the same time maybe I don't. Maybe this is why I haven't gone beyond this 80% kind of thing. But like I'm scared and it's just like take everything out and then put everything back because I know I like everything, and then not get anywhere, and I just like don't want that disappointment. But it would be great if things fit into the space, and what's the word? This book. She talked about accepting the limitations of the space. Yeah, it does feel a bit limiting. It just feels a little bit... I like the idea that how KonMari says that once you own only what really brings you joy, then it will fit into the space. But maybe that's her experience, because I own what brings me joy and it kind of doesn't fit. I mean, sometimes it takes time and you just need more involvement to it, because I only just relatively recently reached here, it feels. But then also it's been longer than it feels, to be honest. Well, there's something I do think it can help, which I think is, it's nice to have that usefulness to consider, okay, how much space do I have available? But you know, it seems strange to let the space dictate how much you can own when you could be living in one room in a shared house, or you could be living in a 1-bedroom flat, or you could be living in a 3-bedroom flat. Not everybody always with the same, like there might be families who don't have as much money, so they live in a smaller space even though they are a big family, or vice versa. It doesn't always, is the space always equivalent to, does the amount of space bring you this joy, and is it kind of equivalent to how much joy it should bring you, how much it should be, like, if that makes any sense. But it's beginning to look more and more to look a little, I don't want to be mean and say ridiculous, but something like that, to have so much stuff that you maybe don't need, but then I exchange energy with it. That's what I call it. Like, it brings me joy and feels right to us. So it's like I'm at this threshold. I think I'm like maybe at the brink of a new life, but I don't know how long it will take me to ever get there. Will I ever get there? I don't know. I don't want to, this is why I almost don't want to mention my goals, because I don't know if they are goals. It's just something that I'm considering in my mind, you know. I don't want anyone to be like, yeah, you said you will get here and you haven't done it. It's like not like it's not like a goal that like this needs to happen. It's become interesting to me now, and it's something I think about, and I didn't know how much this still was before, when it still looked so little. But also it still looks too little to really feel it and really take the next step. I don't know what more to say. I feel like I've rambled on, so maybe we'll say goodbye for now. I hope you liked this video though. I hope you found it interesting. I hope you can relate in some way, and maybe you have some advice for me. Who knows? But I'd love to hear your comments in the comment section below anyway, and please give me a like and subscribe and share. That would be awesome, would be very much appreciated. I hope you like the intro to the possible upcoming declutter, maybe not. For now it feels like I have to really first find a way to go beyond where I've already gone, and then, but you know, there could be other people who might be there and not know how to take it beyond. There should be. Maybe to someone out there this is good, you know, maybe they have way more things. There are people like that, because I used to be one. So I hope to see you back in the next video, whichever it might be, the next part of this or my other decluttering videos and home related videos. Would love to see you there, and I'll see you soon. Thanks again. Would love to see you subscribe to my channel. Thanks for your attention. See you then. Bye.